heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on. Cause society's a myth, put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded, man, I'm losing it. Don't let them tell you what to do, man, they don't know shit.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. And we had quite a move yesterday. I know we were looking at the POC and it blew right through that, but we did talk about, hey, if you see a big, large body candle just shoot through that zone, don't even jump on it. You could have took a long, but what we were initially looking at was a short from that area, but we were looking for a wick. We were looking for some of that selling pressure to come in, didn't get that. And then potentially a breakout retest. Well, you know what? It was such a strong move. It blew through and it just took off, but it did reject from a key level. We're going to look at that as we get to the charts here. But Bitcoin currently sitting at 67,692, not looking too shabby, if I may say so myself, but it is down 2% over the last 24 hours. Again, we did interact with a pretty key level. We'll look at that here. Extreme fear right now, 11. I think that will, that'll be weird. I don't know how much that'll actually go up given that we're down 2%. So it may stay there in that region here. Market cap is at 2.3 trillion. That is up 5.35% over 24 hours. And then our altcoin season metric is at 35. Why has that continued to tick up? Well, because you have continued to see that Bitcoin dominance breakdown. We are now at 57.8%. Ethereum sitting at 2,032. That is down 1.93%. Let's go ahead and go over to the chat real quick. Let's say what's up to the homies. How you guys doing? We got Alexandra G in the house, the best mod in all of the space. How you doing, lovely lady? Good to see you. And my dude, H.O.J. Trading. Hope everyone is doing well out there. All right, let's look at the liquidation heat map here. You do see some liquidity down below us. Right there. I mean, it's pretty much down below where we've had that swing low. All right, a little bit of a bounce there, and all down. But we have some hot spots. We got a hot spot at about 64.5. We got another hot spot at about 63.5. So there is liquidity below us. Is that worth going down and touching that in all the wrong ways? We shall see. Let's go over to the charts here. I do have, it looks like we have 64.5 already marked. That is conveniently down by the golden pocket of this current swing low to high here. This is what I'm talking about. So we got that pretty close to the value area high. And we did have liquidity that was up here as well, right? So nice little move to the top side. Of course, we were looking at the POC here, but the POC, look at all the confluence down here later yesterday, right? You had the POC, you had this trend, descending level of resistance, kind of aligning with the value area low, POC. If you go some different time frames, you also had some moving averages that were kind of crossing through that area all around 66.7, 66.8. That being said, you also had a lot of volume, and that's what this arrow was pointing at. Hey, we got a lot of confluence in this area. So when we were looking at that area, I personally was like, hey, like we have so much confluence there. I would say you look for that short first, and then if you get the big body candle through the zone, then you kind of hold off and you look for what? The breakout retest. So I wouldn't have jumped in on it yesterday, but yesterday evening, that was it right there, right? So you had your breakout, retest, and then you're looking for the continuation. Now, will that continue? I don't know, because you do have a high volume area node that you're interacting with right now. Let's go down to the 15-minute. Let's get rid of some of this, clear it up a little bit, and see what you're interacting with now. You were pressing up, right? So you do have the VWAP, you have the bottom of the orb here as well, right? You already got one big wick out of there, but you are starting to form a little bit of an ascending level of support. Okay, so that is not a bad sign. All right, you're pushing through right now. Will it hold up? One of the things I like to do to kind of validate if we're going to hold up is then I go over to look, let's see what the CVD is doing. Let's see what open interest is doing right now. Open interest working its way up. What does that mean? That means that positions are being opened. All right, CVD kind of going horizontal, but still you could say there's a little bit of an uptick here just with this latest bit of volume, or the latest bit of price action here, but it's still kind of going horizontal. Now, the one thing you want to pay attention to, yes, right here, near term, and when I say near term, I'm talking about, here, 15, 20 minutes or so, last 15 or 20 minutes, Okay, yeah, open interest, opening positions, that's good, but still going horizontal. Ultimately, though, what would you be looking at too is, hey, we got the high here. What is open interest doing as a whole throughout this piece of consolidation here? All right, well, it looks like it's actually, even though we had this nice little spike up, it's actually still kind of working to the downside right now. So what would that mean? That would mean that positions are being closed, more so than being opened, okay? Because it's trending to the downside as we continue to consolidate and we sit here in this range. Now, as CVD is going horizontal, that means that there's no real aggression on either longs or shorts right now. So the only thing that I can plausibly take from this is that, okay, cool, we had a nice push up, all right? And then people might be starting to take some profits. However, they're not really piling into fresh long positions right now. All right, so we're kind of in equilibrium in terms of CVD because it's going horizontal. However, we do know that there are more people likely closing positions than opening positions. What we would like to see as a further validation, if we are going to go down from here, is you would like to see the CVD start to work its way down. If you start seeing the CVD work its way down a little bit more aggressively, let's go ahead and make it a different color here so it pops a little bit. Let's go purple. There you go. All right, so if you start to see it work its way down and you see open interest, you might still see it go down a little bit, but eventually you do want to see it tick up. Okay, so if it ticks up as CVD continues to work, or not continues, but if it starts to work down, then that would be a validation to be like, hey, you know what? I think that they're starting to be more aggressive with the shorts, and then you could look for a potential short here. Now, right now, I'm not inclined to take a short. Just so everyone is very clear with where we're at. The current price action, the CVD, honestly, is just not showing me what I need to see. We're going to have to wait for that just a little bit here. All right, so coming back over. Let's go ahead and look at that. Look at the chart here. Let's go to the 4 hour. We'll zoom out a little bit, do a little bit of top down here just so we can kind of see the overarching price action. You can see a very clear range. All right, so I got a fixed range volume profile on here. You do have the 618 here, and this is the key level that I've been looking at for quite some time. When people keep asking me, hey, what's your key level? My key level is around 72 to 74,000. Now, this is a biggie. And I just want to I want to point this out to you. This is definitely a biggie. Why? Because we've really started to develop a range. All right, and we know that liquidity is up here, and there's confluence. All right, there's definitely confluence because you have on the 4 hour, I believe this is the, let me double check because I switched my colors on myself. That's the 200. Okay, so you got the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. You have the golden pocket, and then you have just a very, very clear horizontal with liquidity. How do I know we have liquidity? Well, you have this wick right here. All right, so that's the high of the range. You know that liquidity is going to be right in the zone. I mean, this is primo. So not only will you have this accumulation, but then you're going to have that push up to take the liquidity off the map. All right, and then that would be the manipulation. What do we look for next? The reestablish below the range or back within the high of the range. And then that opens up the door for at least a push back down to the low. Now, I would say I probably wouldn't be that aggressive. If you're scalping, you're probably looking at the value area high. If you're looking for an intraday, you're probably looking at the POC of the range. And now that will update, just so you know. So that is an area I'm going to look at. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that. And I am going to post that in the Discords. I do like this range quite a lot here. Not saying it's going, but if it does, we are going to be definitely keeping an eye on that. So went ahead and downloaded it. I will post that in my Discord as well as AlexO's. Just so you guys know, I am transitioning over to AlexO's. Very, very important that you join my link if you guys want access to that. You'll get access to my piece of the pie, my channel within AlexO's Discord. But if you want the full access, you'll have to go through my affiliate link to get access to the premium side of AlexO's Discord. And it is worth it. Let me tell you, we got HR Jade in there. We got FJ, of course, Alex himself. There's Lunar in there. There is CVO. Who else? Wave Cypher. There is a bunch of analysts in there. They're all very, very good. There's a lot of learning content in there. I do believe it is the best Discord around if you are really trying to learn how to trade. So that is why, I mean, besides that I'm friends with Alex, that's mostly why, like, hey, I got to find a good place to affiliate myself with and be a part of a team, kind of all driving towards the same goal. And the big thing is get everyone over there and, you know, start learning, right? Start learning, collaborative. We work together, trade together. No, there's no egos over there. Okay. There's no egos. At least I'm not going to give you an ego. You guys know I'm open, and we'll learn together. All right. There's not going to be a lot of I told you so. It's going to be like, how can we learn from this? And that to me is way more important than all the BS that's out there. All right. So looking at this, right, I really, really like this area again, around 72 to 74. All right. So mark that on your charts. I would, you know, advise, not financial advice, I would say, hey, why don't you just put a line out there, even if you do a fib retracement, just to mark that area, just so you know it's something to keep an eye on. I would highly, highly recommend that. Okay, so right now we're holding support. Okay, so we're okay right now. We are still not the best look. Not the best look, but we did get a nice little breakout retest of the trend line here. That's good. That's step one. All right, that's step one is saying, hey, can we look for some continuation? Can we look for some potential upside? I would say it's on the table. When you get this breakout and retest of that level, especially the POC value area low as well as the trend line there, and a high volume area node that we had already identified and were looking at last time. I think that was yesterday, actually. Yeah, I mean, that's on the table. Now, if you break it and you lose it, then, hey, I would be very, very cautious. Okay, I would. And most people at this point have been fading most of the rallies. Let's be honest. People have been fading the rallies because there hasn't been a lot of strength behind it. Like, the people get interested, they get excited. And the good news for the altcoins is that they did move exponential in comparison to Bitcoin yesterday. So some of them have dropped 4 or 5%, but they moved 14% yesterday. So that's good news, right? You're looking at a couple of them. I think AVAX and I think AVAX had a good move. I don't know if Cardano did. I'd have to go back and look at that one. But yeah, there was a couple of them that had some really, really nice moves in conjunction with Bitcoin moving to the upside. All right, let's look at USDT dominance real quick. Let's see where that's at. Okay, yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday. Looks like we went down we went past the high volume area node. So this is even better, right? Because you really went to a technical level. You came down to the golden pocket. We did mark the horizontal here. You can see kind of ahead of 11x there yesterday, but that's okay. We can get rid of that so we don't have all the overlap. And you got a nice bounce. And this is what I talk about sometimes when you're like, hey, finding confluence between the charts, looking at USDT dominance and seeing, hey, can I get a bounce here? Can I potentially see a rejection here? How does that drive some of my decision-making processes and in terms of getting into a position or getting out of a position, right? So let's say you were in a long position, right? And you got up to a key level. We kind of talked about this area, right? That's why I had the horizontal. We talked about it. Hey, if we push through, you know, that would be a likely area to see a bounce for USDT dominance. And that's pretty much what you saw in conjunction with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin went up, it rejected, this bounced in terms of USDT dominance. Let's look at not the total 3, but the total market cap. Look at that, man. Again, we were talking about the confluence. See, I got this, see? But the little blue line here, I was like, look, that might be an area of resistance. That's pretty much where it rejected. I mean, it was pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. What did it actually go up to? The high was 2.39. I had it at 2.4. Close enough for government work. And that was right about the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So again, there's an opportunity here, very, very similar to Bitcoin in terms of looking at the trend. You can see descending level of resistance. You got to bounce off of that as well. So there's an opportunity here. And this is what we would be hoping for, is that you get a bounce here and you start pushing back up again to start retesting these horizontal levels. Now, where do we get comfy? Where do we feel good? Where do we feel a little better about all this? That's what this line is here. You see this pink line? We want to see a breakout retest right here. And then we feel a lot better about looking for that continuation to the upside as depicted right here. So again, you want to break through the golden pocket, get over the moving average, retest this level, pretty key level, right? You can see the horizontal where we've had rejection, just hasn't been able to fight through. If we get through and then we come back down for that retest, that is where you're like, all right, you know, we could have some fun here, a little bit of potential upside in the cards. Obviously, you can see not a lot of volume in here, so that push could come pretty quick. But I do see, I would say right here where you have this previous range, I would be extra cautious with that, right? Just because I do think you could see a rejection. So let's pull this down right here. I think that's more realistic. This is like going to the moon. I don't know about all that, but 2.62 makes a lot of sense. Right here, high volume area node, top of the range. All of that kind of aligns. I do like that a lot. Let's go ahead and mark that. So here we go. Oh, wrong button. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's bring it down just a little bit with the high volume area node. Then you have the, I believe that is the 300. Gosh, man, I shouldn't have changed the colors. It is throwing me off like crazy. Yeah, that's a 300. So what would that be on the daily? So the 300 on the 4 hour is actually going to be the 50 SMA. The 50 SMA on the daily. I know it's confusing because we're on the 4 hour, but don't be too confused. It is the 50 SMA right here on the daily. So that may add a little bit of confluence here too if we do get that push up. Something to pay attention to. As this goes horizontal, which it will if price continues to drive up, that would add confluence to that zone, right? So you're looking for the retest here, and you're looking for the resistance here. I think is very logical. Of course, you might see that first initial rejection. This is just a matter of trying to get ahead of the price action. We can get rid of this one right here. But the 0.786 right here at the bottom of the range would make a lot of sense, right? Push up, reject, come down, retest, off, and away we go to retest some higher levels. I'm not saying that's what's happening. We're going to wait to see if we get that breakthrough. We get the retest. If we get the retest with some buying pressure coming in, looking for Bitcoin, CBD, open interest, driving that price up, at least on Bitcoin and some of the other alts, then that makes us feel a little bit better about taking a position, a long position, right? And this would be confluence between the charts. You're not taking a long on the total market cap, but it will add to the confluence that we would see, right? And that, again, you look at those three charts, see some confluence there, that can help drive your decision-making process. All right, coming back, let's go ahead and look at the chat here. We got Wick's wife in the house. What up, lady? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We got my man Andrew Cameron. What up, dude? The GM dude himself. Go check his brother out, man. I think he's in like slap boxing or something like that. Check him out, man. Go, if you're in the Discord, he's got a link for it. Go check him out there. I don't care, Andrew, if you want to drop it in the chat, go for it. All Gucci. Crypto Squid, what up to you, dude? Good to see you here. See you here. Good to see you here. Good to see you here as well, man. Arm wrestling. All right, there you go. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, if you want to drop a link, go for it. Drop it in the chat, man. See here. Let's go back. Let's really start looking at Bitcoin here. What opportunities do we have? What is presenting itself right now? Yeah, I think that's the big one right there. 72 to 74. We talked about that. You are going to have some liquidity down here. We can go ahead and box that out. So right here down at the bottom, boom. You're going to have some liquidity right there. And we do have it marked as well. But there's definitely going to be some down here. There's no doubt about it. Just looking at some of the price action. But don't ever be surprised when things start getting bullish that you get that series of higher lows. It's really hard to predict, right? Especially, the way I trade, I like to see the liquidity get taken first before I jump into something. When you see a series of higher lows, then, I would probably like to see a few of them before I get, excited about that or try to even take something when you're taking a continuation type trade. But right now, this is where liquidity is sitting. Also where, let's see here. I mean, I'm not going to, you could say it's the 0.786, which we already got the bounce off of. I don't know that I would kind of maintain that stance right now. So where is this at? This is about, when I say this, I'm talking about liquidity, about 60,000 to about 60, we're going to call it 63. About 63,000, you're going to have some liquidity here. And I believe I remember it being at like a hotspot at like 63.5 on the heat map as well. So makes perfect sense. Let's see. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, we can validate that. Let's just go to the map here. Yeah, 63, 63.4, 63.5. Got a nice little hotspot. And then you can see really all the way down. All the way down. And that makes sense, right? Like you go to the chart, you look at it, you know that there's going to be liquidity pretty much all the way through here. as prices shoots up. People are piling into positions. As they're piling into positions, they're leaving their stop losses along the way. They're leaving their, they may get liquidated if they round trip this thing. That's all within reason. Man, I'll tell you what's holding up though. This down here is the bottom of the channel. Remember, we've talked about that. Let's go to the 5-day real quick just to kind of look at that. There you go. This channel been following since 2021. 2021. High to high, swing low to swing low. Really that simple. And then once we got into it, man, it's been a long time. It has been in this channel once we reestablished it. I mean, you got rejected, but reestablished it really February 24. So almost 2 years. 2 years. It's kind of been flirting. I just see this as the mean, right? Just kind of keeping that up and right trajectory. It really very loosely based. It's not like I didn't do any crazy wizard type TA. Literally high to high, swing low to swing low. Just kind of carried it out. It just so happens that it's been bouncing off these levels like crazy. It's unreal. But again, it looks like the bottom of this range is trying to hold up. So it's trying. I know a lot of people are talking about the, let's see, I think it's on the weekly. They're talking about the 200 on the weekly. So that would be this purple line here. And everybody wants to see that get touched. But I'm going to be, like a lot of times you want to see something like that get touched. But at the same time, like if so many people are looking at the same thing, big money just might front run you. To be honest, they might just front run you because they know you're looking at it. And then you FOMO in. And then they dump on you. So be careful with that. All right, looking at the weekly, we got some range demand way down here. That would put you at the 70 to 75% drawback off the high, kind of in line with the 4-year cycle. You guys kind of know the areas that I'm looking for, somewhere around like 52, 53. You got a nice little horizontal right there. Really is in line with the 300 on the weekly, which I don't know that is really necessarily the end-all be-all, but you do have a little confluence down there, about 52, 53,000. And then looking for that full drawback, if we were to get the full drawback of 70 to 75%, then I would be front-running that area at about 40, 42. You do have a high volume area node, and then you have this previous range right here. That's kind of where I would be looking for some nice little DCA points over the next like 5-6 months. Again, the expectation, don't freak out, but the expectation is that you start seeing that turn around about Q3 of this year if we fall in line with the previous 4-year cycles. So where do we get bullish again, right? I'm sure there's people that are kind of curious about that. I'd say it really, your starting point before we can really have the conversation is above 74,000. I would like to see some conviction through that zone, stay above 74,000, stay above this previous range here, start reestablishing above 74, and then we start talking about being in a new range, change of character, all that good stuff. Now, does that necessarily mean we go full bull? No, I don't think so. It's just kind of step one to the process. I think if we get over the median, we get over the monthly pivot, we reestablish this range right here, that's really where we can say, hey, you know what, there actually could be some upside. But right now, that's not really on the table in my mind. A couple things that need to be hit first. Again, I think staying over 74 is really going to be a pretty big line in the sand for me before I can really even start to think about pushing back up. So right now, unfortunately, what you're seeing, off the high as you push down, consolidation, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Hopefully, we don't see that again. Okay, so right now we are forming a range. There's no doubt about that. A little bit tighter, but what you got to be careful of is kind of what I was talking about. That short at about 72K, keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on the prize, baby. Because right now, that's what you're seeing. Very similar to that previous range. All right. So you have very clear accumulation. Do we get that push up to take all of the liquidity off the table and then look for that push back down? This is going to be key. Definitely going to be key here. Vegas Claw, what up to you? Good to see you, my man. K Diggity. No doubt. How you doing, man? It's been a minute. It has been a minute. I hope all is well, brother. Who else is in here? All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's look at Cardano. Okay, so it had a nice little push up. Not too bad. See, this is the scariness right here, though. Right? This actually would have played out like, let's have a teaching moment. I don't know if it's going to be applicable for Cardano per se, but you can see the clear range here, right? This is what you don't want to see on Bitcoin. This right here. Not too worried about Cardano because Cardano doesn't drive the market. However, this is a short. There's no doubt about it. This was a short for Cardano. Why? This is classic right here. You got the accumulation, push up, you take the liquidity, manipulation, and a distribution. Once you reestablish below the high of the range, boom, you're looking for a push down. It's just how far do you take it down? That's always the trick, right? Looking at, let's go to a 4 hour. Let's see what we got going on here. So it came down to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. Let's do a fixed range volume profile. Didn't trade this. Hindsight, I have that benefit right now. And it came down to the POC, right off the POC. So what would that have been in terms of a trade? That would have been probably a nice little setup there. Come back down, candle close, into the range. Nice little vector candle there. Not 4.6% move. Ain't nobody gonna be sleeping on that if you use just a little bit of leverage, right? Like you use 3x. That's a really nice return. Would have been a really nice return. I was sleeping on that, man. Damn. Ain't that a B? That's all right. I'm going to circle this, though, because it's still a learning moment. So I'll post this in the Discord. We'll talk about it just so we can learn from it at minimum. So let's do this. What am I marking right there? I'm marking where liquidity is. So there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that. I'll post that in the Discords as well. Cool. That's benefit of hindsight. Perfectly aware. But if you see it next time, it might open up your eyes, right? Because that's a beaut of a setup. You might be like, hey, I remember him talking about that. Here you go. Same deal for AVAX. Same deal. This is actually this grain is a buy zone that I had identified. Part of my DCA plan. But we got the bear market lows quick in a hurry. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not expecting it to be that aggressive. Not this quick. Not this quick. But that's okay. I'm in on AVAX. I do have skin in the game, so vested interest to see this thing move. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn market structure off here for 11x. I'm going to do my own because I just want to see what the 0.382 is. So, there you go. Came right down to the 0.382. You got a high volume area node for AVAX. There is hope. There's hope for AVAX. If Bitcoin does continue to push up, there will be some hope for AVAX. Why? 0.382 is that area that you would like to see bullish continuation. All right, so support there, high volume area node, and you have a nice little horizontal as well at that level at about $9.30 for AVAX. So you would like to see that hold. You would definitely like to see that hold and then push out of that area or that range that we're currently stuck in. Could you look at a long position? I wouldn't look at a long position from here, just personally, because Bitcoin is kind of right at resistance. However, that being said, if we get a little push up, just looking at the top of this range right here, when I say right here, I'm talking about right here, right at about 10.29. Okay, so the top of this range here, I would look for a move back down to retest, then kind of opens up the door to, I'd say, test this area here where you have this range that's sitting out here. You have this high volume area node right here, and that is at about $10.83. There we go. And moving average working its way down. Let's go ahead and move the arrow here. What does that look like in terms of a move? Not predicting this is going to happen, just something to look for. 10% move. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. And this actually, this volume right here aligns with the top of the range here. So that kind of makes me feel even better about seeing that rejection right around 10.13 or so. Not saying this is fully on the table, but again, if then get the breakout, then hey, we're looking for that retest and then for a potential long. And again, you have a lot of confluence up here. High 10s, 11 bucks for AVAX. Let's take a picture of that. Now, all that being said, understand when you start pushing into distribution, then you know there is some good probabilities that you could see the bottom of this range again. So let's go ahead and put a fixed range volume profile on this. Okay. Now look at that. So the POC was right there too. So you had the 0.382, the POC, high volume area node. There you go. Lot lining up there at $9 and about 16 cents for AVAX. Hoping that holds, baby. Hoping that holds for AVAX. I don't know, man. Like if Bitcoin can get a little push up, if it can push up, man, that's could be looking for something on AVAX here. Let's go over to Kayataka. We had a nice little push up. Oh, look at this, man. Open interest dumping. What does that mean? So again, seeing that continuation of the trend, I think that's profit taking, personally. All right, we're on the 1 minute chart, so obviously going to be very, very aggressive here. I think that's profit taking. All right, because you had to push up. And when you get a push up, people take profits or exit their positions because they are now fearful that the price action is going to go down, or they did see a rejection, it did come down, and they want to take the profits before it actually continues to fall. So right now you are building a little horizontal here at about 67.3, 67.4 for Bitcoin. But again, CBD is just horizontal. And that right there gives me a pause. It definitely gives me a bit of a pause because there's no aggressiveness. I guess there's a little trend. Very little trend. Got to really zoom in to make it pop, huh? There we go. So this is one thing I'd like to do is just put a box on there. It makes it stand out a little bit more. Just makes it more recognizable. So we'll align the price action with CBD. We are open interest is very easy to see right now. But yeah, I guess CBD is starting to trend down a bit. It's not crazy. It's still relatively horizontal in my mind, but there is a little bit of a trend to the downside. But that can, on the 1 minute chart, that can turn really, really quick. Let's see what the 5 minute looks like. 5, you can see a little bit of a downtrend there. Open interest, sames. I think that's one of those ones where, like, if you were looking at key level there, I think there was VWAP and the orb, the low side of the orb, you know, and you took a flyer on that rejection, and then you kind of wait to kind of see this develop. You know, that could have been an opportunity here, but that's just not the way I like to do it. I know that a lot of people like to jump in at that point. I do like to see a break in micro trends. If I see a break in the micro trend and then I see the CBD working its way down, that would be a nice little validation. And open interest going down is fine too. Not a big deal. What you would like to see, though, is at some point open interest spikes and CVD starts to go down. So basically diverging from each other. That would make me feel a lot better about trying to jump into a position right now at the current price level. Pepe the Frog got hit by an 18-wheeler. Curb Star, what up to you, man? How you doing? We got all set in the house. Shubby 751, what up to you? All right, I got to catch up, see what you guys are talking about. All is well, brother. Got married, moved. I'm still around, though, bro. Just not chatting as much, catching as much as I used to. All good, man. People got lives. I get it. I get it. Can't stay on freaking crypto, Twitter, and YouTube all the time. It's not good for your health anyways. Let's see. K. Diddy was inside of a water capsule turned into Wolverine. Fair enough, man. Congrats, though. You got married. That's big news. Congrats to you, man. All right. Price action starting to work its way down. You do see some orders coming over top of that right now. Sometimes that is that's something you want to pay attention to. When they start stacking orders, I don't know if that one's going to be close enough, but when they start stacking orders over top of the price action, as it's starting to move in a direction, that's just another little thing for you to keep an eye on. Problem is, you do have some orders sitting right there below you as well, popping up on the books here. So I don't know how much you can really take. It's pretty much even, right? Look at that. You got about 400 on the bottom, 470 on the top. Oh, here we go. What are we gonna do? Open interest might have been telling the story here. And there that goes. Just like that. So basically, they're just, orders are kind of fluctuating. That's why you're seeing them flash right now. So above and below the threshold, you'll see them flash. If I was to do this, there you go. See there, it makes them more prominent, but good lord, that hurts my eyes. All right. Let's adjust this to 100. 99 will work. And then 497, there you go. All right, so there you go. CBD starting to move now. Kind of breaking. I don't know what happened to our box. I don't know how it moved all the way down here, but all good. But look at that. That's a nice little push down for CBD. Open interest continue to dump. I mean, the only thing that you would want at this point is open interest to start spiking up. This is the 5 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but open interest just means the positions are being opened. All right, so more positions coming in. You would love to see those positions coming in, but you see the shorts are aggressive, right? So aggressive shorts. So if you saw that, that would make you feel a lot better. Might be one of those ones, man. You just might have to chillax. I'm just not seeing enough from the CBD. You see how aggressive this looks? See how aggressive that looks? Right? This isn't much. Now, if we had something like, if you're looking here, look at the order book, right? You can see all the orders. These are all passive orders right here. All these passive orders are on the books, right? And this is what I'm talking about when you really want to see something move. Look at open interest. See how open interest spiked? You didn't get much on the CVD. I'll be honest with you there. You got a little bit of a move, but open interest spiked big time. All right. So that spiked. You did have a small bias to the upside for CVD, but these orders, right? This is decent. All right. You got about 600 on the books here, right underneath the price action. So understand, like when this was happening, you get the candle open, right? the order stack right underneath. So what is that doing? That's providing you support, driving the price action up, right? So this is a nice one, you know, in terms of looking like, hey, you started getting your open interest going up. You got a little incline in the CVD there, and then you got orders underneath of you. I would love to see something like that, but inverse over here. That would be quite nice. DDT, what up, bro? Good to see you in the chat, man. I'm gonna call you JT. I think we had this last time. I tried to say your name, but I'm gonna call you JT. What up to you, man? Thank you for being in the chat. Appreciate you. Username, my dude. What's up to you, bro? Dropping the ladders in the chat. My guy. Hope all is well, bro. So there you go. Starting to push up, right? Starting to push up. So I said, there's just not, ain't enough for me yet. Ain't enough for me yet. Let's go back. Bring up Bitcoin again here. That's going to be tough. So this is one thing, always nice to come back to the chart and be like, you know, shorting straight into the POC and all this confluence doesn't sound like a great idea either. See what we got on the 5 minute. Yeah, so if you didn't get in right here, it's going to be tough. I mean, what's the move down to the POC right now? 0.45. I mean, you could try scalping that, but I'm not. Again, I don't see what I need to see. Let's put the box on here again. These boxes move. We're gonna have to work on that. So we were what? We were like right there, right? Because that was the bottom. Open interest still pushing back though. Again, I just think people are exiting positions. Personally, you're getting that little fight going on between longs and shorts right now. That's why this is mostly horizontal. I think it's risky business to enter into something right here. Man, this just moves the box, does what it wants to do, huh? See what the fib level in that. I'm just looking at it. It's probably, I think that's pretty close to the 0.786. Just swagging it. Let's go fib retracement. Nailed it, dog. 0.786. Wicked right off of it. 0.786. 5 minute. What is that? The 200 on the 5 minute. I think Lifer trades that, like the lower time frame 200. And I know Alex loves the orb here. That's your opening range breakout. It's right here. So I know sometimes people are looking at it like, what are you using? Here you go. So I got vector candles. That's basically what's basically showing volume based candles here. And then you got your orb, VRVP. All right, that's the volume here on the side, so you can see kind of where you got your high volume nodes, high volume areas. You will see a lot of times that price will react to those levels, especially when you start getting out to the 4 hour and the daily. You know, start big, kind of work your way down. That kind of deal. Like, look at this. Like, that's very prominent, right? And right there at the weekly pivot. And sure enough, it's struggling, right? It's struggling with that area. What else I got? I got VWAP. I use VWAP for scalping a lot. So if we were to get a big push up and I were to take some, let's say we pushed up over the value area high here, clear some liquidity, and then let's say I took a short, right? I'd probably be looking for the VWAP in terms of exiting my position. That's what I've been doing recently when I'm scalping. It's just because you see it interact with VWAP quite a bit, especially when you get on the lower time frames. Moving averages are moving averages, nothing there too crazy. And then I got 11x. I have a link for that if you guys want to use it. It's kind of nice, right? If you kind of want to let something do the TA for you, right? It's going to give you your fib retracement levels, which is quite nice. It'll give you your demand zones, your supply zones. There's a lot more to it. Surely there's a lot more to it. But for me, I do like to see, hey, where do we have a change of character? Where do we have a break of structure? It will identify all of that for you, as well as fib retracement levels. That's mainly what I use it for, because it's super quick. And then of course your supply and your demand, which I talked about, right? But like right here, you can see you had your last break of structure. You had a break of structure. Obviously that box wasn't there yet, but then you had that nice vector candle through on the 4 hour, which, you know, shows you that there's some strength with that move going through that break of structure. And then, you know, just down away we go. So what would you see, you know, if we were to push back up here? You know, you could see a change of character coming in if you were to push back up above 72K or so. It also identify swing failure patterns as well. So it's kind of cool. I like it. I dig it. What else? Pivots. I do mark the pivots, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, the yearly. I just go through those individually real quick, and then I'll mark those out, right? Usually an area that you'll see some price action. I mean, look at this. Proof in the pudding right here. You got kind of overlapping pivots, pushed up, rejection, see you later. And then you had an impulse move through, right? So that's important to annotate as well. It held up initially, but then ultimately you had that big impulse move through. That's important. That lets you know that's a pretty important level, and it just so happens to be where you have the 618. So you have the monthly pivot, and you have the median of the channel here, which if we were to push up to that zone, I would expect resistance, right? Just initial rejection. All right, see a little resistance there. It could open up the opportunity for an intraday trade. Bitcoin, is it moving? Okay, so you're starting to see the CVD continue to creep down. So it's looking pretty weak. Looking weak. Let's go back over to the chat real quick. Said JT's cool, my man. I'm chilling, dude. Chilling. Trying to get on here every, Tuesday, Thursdays as much as I can. I did go snowboarding here on Tuesday with the little lady. If you guys are on my X or the Discord, you'll see pictures of that. Family first, man. Family first. I did get on yesterday morning. Alex is on vacation, so I jumped on real quick. Got some content out there for you guys. I would say wasn't super relevant because it pushed straight through the zone we were looking at. But we had invalidations for what we were looking at. That's a nice, okay. There we go. Let me see here. Let's look at the DOM. Is that under terminal? I think it is under terminal. Get rid of that one. Workspace. So just kind of looking at the bids and the asks that are above and below the price action right now. Just kind of get an idea what we're looking at here. Do we have any significant orders right below us? We don't. Do we have any significant orders right above us? Nah, it's about same. 67,520. You start to see some more kind of positioning themselves. Really around 67.5.5 or so. So what does that mean? If it does push up, you would expect a little bit of a price reaction to those levels. Like it's starting to break out now. What do we got below us? 67.1. So we'll see how that reacts at 67.1. You'll probably get a little bounce. How much time I got left? About 9 minutes. Well, there you go. Might have been sleeping on that one a little bit. Definitely got a trend down for the CVD. Broke out of our little box. And open interest continue to work its way down. Again, it can move in correlation with open interest as they're exiting positions and you see the shorts are aggressive. I don't hear any music. More music. There we go. Did Alex O ever play Freebird? I have no idea, man. VWAP is a very good song by Cardi B. Don't they have the one song that's like wop 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 wop? We should make a like a parody. It'll be VWAP. Jesse Galoot. What up, dude? Good to see you in the chat, man. Liquid Diddy. You know it. You know it. Likes to touch you in all the wrong places. Jesse and username are the same person? Absolutely not. They are so different. Them two could not be any more different, man. All right. Let's get that out of here. Yeah, I think I'm chilling. I could have tried to play up here. I think that was an opportunity he missed. Got open interest going down. You had CVD going down. But I would be more comfortable being up here. Not so much down here, though. So I think I'm going to be chilling on that. And again, I mean, you're getting a little close to the POC of the range here if you're going to the 5 minute. I don't know there's really enough room. Yeah, the play was here. Chart Prime was showing you a little trend to the downside on RSI as well. Moving average shift. I still got that up. Goodness. Yeah, that was probably the play, to be realsies. Once you got under the VWAP. Oh, Gucci. Let's see. We got 5 minutes. Let's look at DOT. I heard DOT was moving here recently. We'll take a look at that real quick. Oh yeah, I can see that. Oh goodness. It's a really nice move for DOT. Yeah, more than 20%, almost 30%. See on the 4 hour, that went up to the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. Let's get the daily real quick. As you can see the trend right now, even with that push ups, this is one thing I look at a lot, is when you have a trend, don't fight it. Let's say you did get into a good position with DOT. You know, you don't look to fight the trend. So let's say you got in a good position, you got in down here. You always got to be careful of these trends, that initial rejection, because a lot of times what will happen is you get that push up and then it ends up coming all the way back down to where you started. But we'll hope for the best. Had a lot of volume down there. Kind of a gap here as well. Basically where you got rejected. If you're looking at DOT, you want to get back into DOT. I'd probably look back towards the top of this range here where you had the break of structure. You do have some volume there. Let's put a fib on that real quick. Yeah, that aligns nice. So you got the top of the range, you got the 618. Obviously you had that trend that you rejected from. So you could look for something like that, retest the top of the range, and then you look for it to retest here. So I hate this little line sometimes. All right, so come down, retest the top of the range, and then up, double click. There you go. So I'm really big on not fighting the range or the trend. So if you were to look at a play for DOT, it would be very, oh man, wrong one. Let's look at measured from the top of the range here. It's not bad. You'd be looking at about a 9% move, maybe 8%. Well within reason, not fighting the trend. And then if you break out, then it's all Gucci. But I would, for me personally, what I like to do is like, hey, I'm looking at these retests of the top of the range, see that buying pressure coming in, and then I try to take that up to the trend, and then I just close it. And then you're like, well, you know, you can miss on huge profits, right? Yeah, I could, and I typically do, but I'm okay with it because I don't typically round trip either. So I'd be looking forward to break, you know, do some type of retest here, and then you can get back in. And you get back in typically pretty close to where you got out at, and you just rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. Obviously, you have to be a lot more active that way, but it's a way that you can do it. You kind of stair step it instead of getting your butt whooped, and that's it's another 10% right there. All right, so you could make a nice little probably 8% move up to the trend, get a breakout retest, look for another little 9-10% move. And all you're doing is retesting levels. That's all you're doing. You're just retesting levels. You've already been here. It's not like earth-shattering. And what you're hoping for is you're just kind of stair-stepping up. You get that right there. You stair-step up. And then you start forming a range there. Right? That would be kind of ideal. See? Just kind of bounce around in here, up, bounce around in here, and then it doesn't matter if you go up. You could, or you could go down, but you don't care. Because all you're looking for is from here to here. That's it. So in, out, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then if it breaks out again, what do? We'll just wait. Wait till it comes back down, retest stop at the range, and look to try again. Now the thing that you got to be careful with that is it's not just a wick above. All right, so that's where you got to be careful. It's just a wick above, could just be manipulation coming back into the zone, and then just reestablishes back in there, but it took the liquidity off. Also a different kind of play, but definitely one that could be available. All right, looks like we are at 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 o'clock my time. Let's see what the price is doing real. One last look at Betty. We'll go down to the 3 minute. Oh, we did say we had some liquidity down here, huh? Look at the heat map real quick. Let's update that. Yeah, nothing too crazy. That actually needs to be lower. I think that was my previous one. That's what it was. The top side liquidity. Let's unlock. It is unlocked. Let's cancel this alert. Just a quick look at Ethereum real quick. I'm actually getting out of here, I promise. High volume area node came down to 0.786 off a nice little move to the upside here. It's actually looking healthy after that move. What do you got going on here, man? Jeez, a flip. I was looking at the volume. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I gave you guys this setup. Right here. It's always fun to come back sometimes and be like, there it is. That's a beaut right there. Up to the 618. Had some liquidity up there. Took the liquidity. That's a beaut. Look at that. I think I gave you that one live. What a move. I mean, that was perfect. Front ran the POC a little bit. High volume area. That was a beaut. When did we talk about that one yesterday? It's crazy, man. You do TA. Sometimes you don't even remember when you talked about it, but damn. Missed out on that one. I missed out on it. That's why I gotta be better about posting stuff in the Discord. All good. So what was I looking at there? Just looking, I knew where liquidity was. Yeah, liquidity basically stacked between here and here. Had lots of liquidity between these two. And so it's between 21 to about 21 and a half. Nice clear horizontal. Doesn't get much more clear than that. That's why I had that little green mark there. We can get rid of it. That's what this blue is. Just kind of marking it. You know, so I had a frame of reference. And then what I was doing is, you could see I was projecting, you know, the moving average to come down, and I was just leaving myself a little buffer right over the golden pocket, understanding how the moving average working its way down to act as resistance as well. That's kind of how you can get ahead of the charts, fam. I definitely gave this out before the move happened, that's for sure. Oh, Gucci. We'll look for the next one. Moderating on yourself. Oh God, what did I miss? The longest feud in crypto. Oh my God, what are you guys doing? Username, can only imagine. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta create you guys a link for Alex's Discord. Like I said, I'm gonna move my stuff over there. I'm tired of messing with Discord. But move my stuff over there. I have a channel over there. I'll get you guys, anybody that's in the trade brigade, I just move you guys over. I already talked to Alex about that, so should be easy peasy. But you got to be part of the trade brigade, so make sure you're part of the trade brigade in my Discord currently. That's in the description, and then I'll get you guys a link to get over there once I get it all set up, because I got to set up a bot. I got to set up a verification bot. So yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. But here or there, I'm gonna get out of here. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you for being on here with me. If you got anything, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I would appreciate it. What do I got? Let's see. Did we get any members today? Let's see if we got anybody. Let's look. Let's take a look. Man, I don't even know. You know what? Let's go here. I know this will flash. We got, I think, 1 or 2. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. You guys got the background. See the nonsense that I see. All right, for reals. I'm gonna get out of here. Much love to you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Again, come on over to the Discord. Follow me on X. Do all that good stuff. And I am out of here. As always, trade safe. Be safe. I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the
the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display, on repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.